My name is Adamnesh Bogale. I'm a gender specialist, and I am currently working as head of gender at the African Center for Economic Transformation, ACET. I think people will be surprised to know that I never imagined myself to be a gender advocate, because I thought success is all about hard work. But experiences taught me that even with hard work, the play field is not level, is not the same. It is only when I saw capable, smart, educated, equipped women were constantly overlooked or pushed over that I knew it's not just about individual effort, but also a systematic barrier. A series of experiences inspired me, particularly when I saw, again, capable women being systematically excluded. But I'm more interested in the invisible barriers. Of course, there are visible and clear discriminations that are apparent, which are important to deal with. But then again, I'm more interested in the invisible ones, the unspoken ones, the hidden ones, the subtle ones, such as unconscious bias. For example, I see people's reaction when they know, or when I talk about my credentials, they say, wow. Why say wow to me? Because they don't say wow to a man with the same credential as me. Of course, they're being appreciative and they mean good. I understand that. But I also am concerned about the unconscious bias that they have at the back, because their expectations are different for men and women. The second invisible barrier that I want to mention is gender expectations. For example, when a woman is assertive, she is labeled as aggressive. But when a man with the same behavior is praised for it, such kind of gendered expectations kind of, as Helena puts it, power penalties for the women are what scares me most. So I feel that these invisible barriers are more dangerous and have to be dealt with. I can't think of a single story that shaped my approach towards this, but I particularly remember that I built on my approach towards gender advocacy when I was working as an assistant judge. I was young and I was female. So I saw it from two angles, not just from the cases that I was handling in those litigations, but also people's reactions towards me. Because I am a female and because I was young, again, the two identities added up together for people to have kind of different reactions towards me. I noticed that. And that was what shaped my gender approach, because that is a spot, that is a place with, reasonably high power. But then again, because I was a female, because I was young, they were not giving me the same level of, I don't want to say respect, but the same level of attention as they would give the men who were working beside me. So that was when I realized I have to work on this. Yes. One, ACET targets influencing systems rather than individual outcomes. I want to work on programs that are targeted towards benefiting thousands instead of those few. And in ACET, I'll be able to just do that, just target systems and policies, and I will be able to work at the intersection of policy, economics, and human well-being. So in a nutshell, or what I want to say is I want to be part of the work that targets systems that create this gender inequalities instead of treating the symptoms of gender inequality. Yes, so my vision for ACET is I divided into two. One is mainstreaming gender into ACET's portfolio. Well, this word mainstreaming has been in the ears of people for so long now. People are tired of it. But until we find another word for it, we're going to continue using it. But by mainstreaming, what I mean is basically simple. What are the impacts of a program? Does that impact benefit all? So the main question in a program is, who is it benefiting? Who is benefiting? But right next to that question, there has to be the question, who is missing out? If we try to answer these questions side by side, then I think it will be a step up to not leave anyone in those benefits. So benefiting all will be my agenda through addressing gender inequality. The other is ACET has taken a foundation of economic transformation in terms of depth. Diversification, export competitiveness, productivity, technology, and human well-being. I don't want gender inequality or the issue of gender to be swamped under the fifth dimension, human well-being. I want it to be across all five dimensions of this economic transformation. So that's my vision for ACET. Well, the ATR has produced both progress and gaps, and African countries have way to go to, get to a good place in maintaining and having gender equality. And it has also shown us the importance of education, the importance of health, the importance of equality in terms of opportunities and resources. But the major takeaway from the ATR, I believe, is that considering gender equality much further than it being a social impact, because it is an economic strategy. So the ATR has produced a link between economic transformation and gender inequality beautifully, because it has shown that countries with higher ATIs have lower gender inequality indexes, and these are positively related. This is a huge and a good evidence that gender equality is not just a social cause, it is an economic strategy. The first thing is we start from the gender frame. Then gender frame is embedded into gender beliefs that evoke this sex categorization. That's not all about gender inequality, or when we talk about gender equality, it's not just from the standpoints of men and women. It's much more beyond that. It goes beyond that. It talks about, it's about inequalities. That's where we bring the issue of intersectionality here. So people or inequalities exists not only between the sexes, but also through race, through ethnicity, through age. We consider all these when we talk about gender inequalities. So when we talk about gender, the gender frame, just categorizing it in terms of sex can actually be very dangerous. It can lead to more gender inequalities. So there's a misconception there that we have to deal with. The second misconception I understand is gender inequality being costly. Gender inequality is not costly. Actually, we have seen evidence here as well that we can see the human capital theory, we can see the global gender gap report. They all show that productivity increases when a nation uses its talents and skills to the fullest of its entire population. Women make up 50% of the population, half of the population in many countries, in many nations. So not using that 50% of population or half of the entire population has an opportunity cost, definitely. So that is one of the misconceptions that I understand. It's a simple math. You get more people to work for you, more productivity to work that works for you. The other misconception that I want to mention is gender inequality is very much attached with cultural norms and values. Of course, culture, norms, and values take the highest share to contributing to gender inequality, but then again, they're not while they have to be dealt with, there's also a way to be adamant about gender inequality in terms of interventions like laws and macroeconomic policies. We can take Rwanda as an example. So these are the misconceptions that I see mostly. The first thing that I want to say is own your narrative. A woman with a narrative has a strong will, and it's all about self-esteem and it's all about persistence. So I would say own your narrative and just, of course, look for advice, but not for validation. The second advice that I have is network. What we have seen from experience is that high-level leadership positions are filled through informal networks, and women are a little bit behind in that space. So I would say networking should come as a priority for women who would want to join the leadership force. And lastly, we have problems every day. There's a problem. As we live life, we're confronted with problems. Discuss the problems, talk about the problems, but then again, don't stop there. Move on to the next level and come up with or think about solutions apart from discussing problems.